Hey folks, welcome to the Wealth Transfer with TC. Today I'm doing a follow-up video on the video that I did previously before this one concerning December the 23rd being a significant date. Now there's a couple people that had made some claims about that particular date, and I'm going to go over some things that I think that are very important, but I'm also going to share with you guys what God dropped in my spirit concerning this. And you're not going to see this unless God has shown you, or you're well versed in some of these dates and what it really means. And you will know that by the time I get done with this video. Now, before I get started, folks, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing information, giving you my thoughts and my opinions on that information. And if you guys like these videos that I make, the support links are down below in the description and also the About section of YouTube. Now, the first thing is, folks, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And I also want everybody to stay safe because there's a lot of things that are going on as far as weather-wise in this country and in Canada. And there's actually things going on all over the world. Now, December the 23rd, there was a lot of things that did happen, but it's not what I'm going to share with you. What you're seeing so far is manifestations. All right, now, when it comes to what's going on in this country and in Canada, we got hit by a major storm. Right, there are rolling blackouts. There are millions of people that will not have power going into Christmas. Texas is calling for an emergency as far as their power grid. They were pileups all day on the 23rd. Many car wrecks. Now, it's not unusual for the first day of snow falling all across this country, but it was just absolute chaos here in the United States and Canada. You know, record low temperatures and snow, and even to the point to where the National Guard was called out in some places. And then also in the Middle East, in the UAE and in India, there was a lot of heavy fog. And so they also canceled a whole bunch of flights too as well, because there was that whole fog issue that was going on that was very dangerous for pilots. And even here in the United States, you saw the chaos at the airports, right? I think there was a total maybe of 10,000 flights canceled altogether all across the world because of the weather and everything that was going on, right? So that's a pretty big deal. That day, actually, the 23rd, actually the country was basically gridlocked with a lot of things that were going on. And to me, that was the beginning of what I call winter chaos, okay? And that's what I saw on the 23rd. But it goes beyond that. And it's going to affect our economy as far as, you know, what our fourth quarter results are going to be, right, when they release them next year. And it's already going to be bad anyway. And then that's going to affect the first quarter results when we get those results, maybe 5-6 months from now. And so what we're seeing is a snowball effect of what's getting ready to take place in this country. Now, before I get into December 23rd, one of the dates that was mentioned was January the 3rd. And people need to understand that the Republicans are taking over the House, and they're already calling for many investigations into some of the things that are going on with the tweet files and a lot of the other things that have been going on within our government, right? And I'm not going to expand too much on it because if you guys have been following up with that, and you notice I haven't talked about it on Patreon because there's a specific reason. We know that our own government is watching everything that we do, everything that we say across all social media platforms, including our military. And this is why I say that when a government turns against its own people, they're in trouble. And people need to understand that the United States is the last stand for freedom. And if America falls, there is no hope for anybody else, any other citizen in any other country. Because the elite, the wealthy, and the powerful will do everything they can to control everybody else. And it's one reason why they're wiping out the middle class. So there is a distinction between the rich and the poor. And they will be able to control the poor as slaves, as we are already slaves. And it's about to get 100 times worse. In some countries, they're already following everything that you do. And they're getting ready to implement that here in the United States. And I'm not trying to make United States, it's all about the United States and so forth, but people don't understand, even people in other countries don't understand how important it is for the United States to stay and remain free and to get people in that's going to change the world. The United States has always had an effect on the rest of the world. You look at this package that was just passed, which, by the way, Republicans joined in with them. And that's going to bring a lot of inflation and a lot of chaos as far as in our own country. And people don't even see that. That was another significant thing that happened. And so there's going to have to be events to try to cover up after the Republicans take over on January 3rd. So you are going to see major events to cycle through the news so you won't pay attention, just like they're doing with the tweet files right now, right? They don't even care. The mainstream media, the CNNs and all them, they don't even care about what our government is doing to its own people. And if you have not read the tweet files, then you need to see what is actually going on. It's not just our country. It just came out today, I believe, or maybe even late last night, about how other countries are doing it too. Some countries just do it anyway, right? But these countries that are supposed to be free, and you think that you're on social media not being watched and you're not being censored and so forth, you're wrong. And it doesn't matter who you are. Even if you are on their side and you disagree with something, folks, they're watching you. And I think dealing with Shiba Inu itself, dealing with December the 23rd, it didn't have anything to do with Shiba Inu, right? But I'm going to share with you here in a minute about what God shared with me, what hit my spirit concerning all of this and why it is significant. So December the 21st and December the 23rd are two different dates that have significance. December the 21st was the winter solstice. December the 23rd was the new moon. What happens on those two dates that is significant to certain people or to a group of people? In some of the videos that we've been doing about these crashes, dealing with the stock market and cryptocurrency markets, the last one I just did was on God's algorithm, where the elite or the people are in cahoots with the demonic forces to bring down these markets, right? Prophet Solomon also talked about the witches and so forth that were bringing down the markets through witchcraft. So on the 21st, there's a group of people that perform rituals on that specific day. And also on the 23rd, which is the new moon. And it's just like prayer. When you pray for something, at some point it's going to manifest itself. Sometimes our prayers are answered quickly. Sometimes they are answered, later on or in God's timing. And this is what people did not see, that we are seeing the manifestation results of starting on the 23rd. When you can bring down the United States economy, you're going to bring down the rest of the world. And what happened on the 23rd basically gridlocked the United States in many ways as far as the economy. And what happened is going to have an effect on our economy. But those two dates, what everybody didn't see was the rituals that were performed on those days to bring these manifestations of what we've been discussing in some of these videos about how they're going to bring down the markets. So these rituals were performed not just on the 21st, but also on the 23rd, which would have been the new moon. And what you saw on the 23rd was absolute winter chaos all across this country, right? This is the country that needs to fall. I want you guys to keep that in mind. We also had a lot of other weather phenomenons that happened all around the world. In UAE, India, they had heavy fog where they had to cancel flights and so forth. And there's so many other different things that were unusual on that day. And you saw some of the manifestation of those rituals. But you also saw on that day some payment systems went down with certain major businesses across the United States. Now, I know those, from what I understand, they're backing up and running, but it's not a coincidence. And so the beginning of winter is actually going to be the beginning of chaos. So are you ready? Do you have everything put in place? Your buy and sell limit orders. The Bitcoin and the Shiba Inu documents are going to be down below in the description, right? This is your last chance to prepare yourself. Now, I do believe because of what's happening on January the 3rd, you are going to see some major events occur trying to cover up that news and information and investigations and all that, people coming to testify and all that, right? They're going to try to shut it down that way. I'm telling you, folks, they're getting ready to implement their plans, and you are part of their plan, and they want you to fail. They want you to suffer. To reiterate, the 21st was the winter solstice, the 23rd was the new moon, and there were rituals performed on those days to try to manifest what we've been waiting for. That's why the 23rd was significant, because it was the manifestation of what took place on the 21st in the winter chaos. And those are the things that people did not see and could not see unless God was telling you, or you were well versed in those dates. And if God had not dropped that in me, I could have easily came on here and said some very negative things. But God showed me what actually took place. So get ready, folks, because you're getting ready to see these events manifest. So hopefully you guys are in position. And you're going to see this when it begins to happen. Just know that they had already performed the rituals to do it. So anyways, folks, that is all that I have for today. I thank you guys for listening. God bless. Merry Christmas and happy holidays.